The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to this episode of Pit Life BBQ. Gather around the pit with your hosts, Johnnie Mags, Messy Mike, and Crawdaddy Chris. Let's talk barbecue.
What's up, everybody? Coming to you live from the Studio 21 Podcast Café in Salem, New Hampshire. It's the Pit Life BBQ podcast, where we talk everything barbecue and a lot of other topics that we talk about around the pit. As always, I'm joined by Crawdaddy Chris.
What's up, guys? How's it going this week?
And Messy Mike.
What's up, guys?
So, guys, let's just get right down to it. We told you we were going to win, and we did. First place, grand champion, Smutty Nose Smoke Show 2018. We took it down, we went for blood, and we came home victorious.
We did. We went there. We were going to, originally go as Pit Life Barbecue Team, but for advertising reasons, we ended up going as Messy Mike's. And those are my sauces right there. But we went there with one goal in mind, because we didn't really know much about the competition or what to expect. And, there were 7 other professional, so restaurants, caterers there, and I think 5 to 6 backyard guys. So you had judging, which, you submitted a box of 6 ribs. They didn't have to be garnished or anything like that. They could just be presented to them, the best looking ones. But there were 3 judges, so you wanted, 2 ribs per judge, and you submitted them. It turned out fantastic. We used Dan Wright's Right Rub and his peach chipotle barbecue sauce for the ribs that we turned in. And then we ended up using Messy Mike's My Rub and my barbecue sauce for the People's Choice, which we ended up getting second in. So,
which also, don't forget to add, we weren't even on the ballot for People's Choice.
Correct.
That was
we still hit second.
So it was default. Yep.
They had to write us in to get that vote. So
they did.
That was a pretty good accomplishment.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody that voted for us, and next year we'll be back with a lot more ribs.
Yeah, and we would like to thank you, Dan Wright, for the rubs and
Wright
sauce.
Barbecue Company out of Alabama.
And it is Labor Day weekend, start of college football season. So, Dan, roll Tide.
Yep.
So, yes, it was quite the experience. It was my first time at a competition, and at least competing. And it blew my mind. It was great. When can we do it again? When?
Next one.
I got the itch.
So
I'm ready to go.
What did you learn from it? Like, what did you bring? Like, usually when we go away to a barbecue event or whatever, we try and bring at least one thing back that we learned. So what would you say would be the one thing that you absolutely took in, and you'll definitely keep in mind or do when you're barbecuing?
Don't lose the ribs. When you're dealing with 18 racks of ribs that are wrapped in foil,
and it's at a brewery, so
at a brewery, so you
drinks
might have
are flowing
had a few early, when you got there. You can kind of confuse them rather easily.
That's just it. The hardest thing was you're doing a barbecue competition, so you got your gold mines stowed away there, and then you're trying to cook for a bunch of people doing People's Choice. And
then you lose track of the ribs that you're supposed to be submitting.
Well, you're not supposed to lose track, but it happens. But we found them.
And then you have a nice conversation, convincing the other people that you know exactly which ones are which.
Yeah, teamwork.
And we did.
It's all about teamwork.
But the one thing I did come across is we had talked yesterday about I didn't do the turn-in. And we got the box, and you've seen on TV that everyone finishes the box and then takes a little cloth and cleans the edges so the presentation is pristine. You told me that there's a whole lot more that goes into those presentation boxes or the judging boxes than meets the eye of how meticulous you need to be, because they will take points away.
Yes. I mean, I don't know the competition world, but the box that they do give you, that they provide to you, you can't tear it. It can't be stained. It has to be in perfect condition the way that they gave it to you. So, that's gold. So you're treating that like your baby, and you have usually, one person that's going to be in charge of, said box. Then when you go to decorate the box, you have your greens, which
it's a little blanket of love, waiting for some meat.
And it's, parsley, some competitions, but it's different every competition. But it's a green of some sort, and you have to lay, your ribs on there or whatever meat you're presenting in a, like a work of art. And you can't have any stains on the sides, and you can't have any stains on the top. So if they open it and there's stains on the top of it, on the inside, then, I don't know if you get disqualified or, deduct points. I guess, again, whatever the competition is. But, yeah, they're very serious about their box turn-ins.
And the garnish also, that kind of helps with the stain aspect.
On the bottom, yes.
Right,
yes.
yeah.
But
it also
as
pushes.
you flip the lid open.
Oh, yeah, on the top, yeah.
On the very top.
So it also could hurt because it could push against, the lid because you got too much in there and it's, built up, and you don't know that until you're going to close the lid. So you kind of just pray when, bam, lid closed.
So that is one thing I took away. The other thing I took away was we didn't use any gadgets.
No gadgets.
I was very upset. I wanted to use some. We didn't even use the thermometer.
Nope.
That's the other thing I noticed. You put the Thermapen down, and it was there when we got there. We didn't pick it up all day till you put it back in your pocket when we left.
Nope.
Did everything by feel.
By feel,
which was amazing. Bend test.
Yep. Look. And
ribs are hard. I find ribs are hard to probe anyway.
Because you got to get in between the bones.
Don't hit a bone. You're gonna get a higher temp.
Correct. I kind of just wanted to leave everything, because we were kind of strapped for time, getting there and everything, and I just wanted everything to smoke as long as possible, and then when they were wrapped, wrapped as long as they possibly could, and then, hold off. But then the turn-in wasn't actually until 4 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock. So
what a nightmare that was.
So, dude, what are the judges looking for in the texture of a rib?
Again, I don't know what these judges were looking for.
Right.
I just know that, judges usually tend to look at appearance, appearance, color, texture, if there's a, kind of a bark on there.
Right.
And then the look of the rib, and then the bite test.
Yeah, when I was talking texture, you don't want them falling off the ribs.
No. You want... They have
a little bite and a little bit of pull.
They have to see their bite mark, and it has to go to the bone, and a little bit of pull, and that's the perfect bite. And, so I don't know if these guys, these judges were looking for that.
Yeah.
But
I think that's a good point. After a while, if you're on the circuit, you probably get to know the judges at some point, or do they change them up too much?
You get to know, some of the judges if you're doing it, some of these competitions where it's the same people all over the country, and they're traveling, and that's another thing. You're traveling hours upon hours to go do a competition where you have no clue if you're going to win. You have no clue if you're going to come in 10th or even place.
Oh, yeah.
With Smutty Nose deal, though, last weekend, I think they did a really good job. That was our first one they've ever put together. And you got to give them kudos about how they organized it, because that was a pretty good setup.
No, it was definitely fun.
For their first one.
Yep, and the cornhole tournament.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Cornhole tournament, yeah. But yeah, it was definitely a good time. Learned a lot. We all worked well together. Had the old assembly line.
The pipes under the table.
The pipes under the table that is another one.
So you want to explain?
I am at Mike's house about 6 o'clock Sunday morning, and we're loading the truck up with all the equipment, and he throws these 4, I don't know,
PVC pipes?
1.5 pipes. 2 foot long PVC pipes at me.
1.25 inch.
1.25 inch diameter. And I'm like, what are these possibly for? He goes, they're the table. I go, for the table? Yeah, you'll see. And so when we got there, our work table, he slid these pipes on each leg, which raised the table up a good foot, if not a little bit more. Saves your back.
100%.
It was a lifesaver. No twisting, stretching, nothing. Everything was perfect level. Could work quickly, work efficiently. Because we all know trying to pull the membrane off after a while, you get a little twinge.
Well, doing a rack of ribs isn't bad, but when you got 20 racks there,
20 racks.
that'll really work on it.
Stretch going. But yeah, it's a little redneck engineering.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong
I
with
like
that.
it.
Nope,
So
not
if you
at all.
guys have any little fold-out tables from Walmart or whatever, try those.
And the quick covers. So those shower caps that I have for the tables.
Oh, that's
Oh,
another
yeah.
one.
If, usually you're outside and you're prepping the meat outside by the grill and you have your 6 foot, or 5 foot folding table. These things it's a shower cap for your table. You just put them over it. And when you're done, all you do is just boop, boop, unfold and
usually
throw it right in the trash.
And you usually can get by with 2. You do a raw one when
Yep.
you're done with your raw meat.
Yep.
Rip it off, wipe it down, throw another one on.
Yep, huge lifesaver. And, unless you want to clean your tables all the time. I don't.
Yeah, no. It's well worth the money getting the pack of them.
Yes.
How many come in the pack?
I don't know. I
What
buy
are they,
them
$3?
By the
$3.50?
case.
I buy, yes.
Piece,
Whatever the
though?
hell it is.
About $3 a piece.
I would say around, between $3 and $4 a piece.
Well worth it. Definitely well worth
Oh,
it.
100%.
Even for backyard barbecuing, I'd use them.
Yep.
Yeah, it was quite the experience, quite the day. Made a few friends. We were going back and forth, tasting each other's stuff early because, pitmaster privilege. You got to eat during the day. So, hey, what are you making up? And what are you making up? And if I'm not mistaken, Chris, what you came up with was pretty damn good.
Yeah, that was something I saw somebody do. I think they did it with sweet Italian sausage, but I did bratwurst wrapped in bacon with a piece of jalapeno in it, and then we glazed them kind of like a burn-in.
Which smelled phenomenal. The maple bacon, oh my God, it was amazing.
They were pretty good.
So it's a friendly competition then? People are kind of wandering around? Or
Barbecue's friendly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most of them are. It's just when you're doing your meats or you're prepping stuff, then people kind of like to have their private time, and they don't want, people kind of glancing at what
seeing
other
what they're
comps
up
are doing.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was some private time when we were getting everything ready, but once everything was on the pit and ready to go, we were bouncing back and forth to the other competitors, the other sites, and, just talking shop, talking barbecue, everything you do in the pit life.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So if I may ask about these award-winning ribs, how much time do you think you had into it from prep to delivery? How early do you have to get there? Just what's the timeline look like?
We left around 7. We got there around 8. Smoker was up by 9. Ribs were on by 9:30. So we basically took them right out of the package, out of the cooler.
Okay.
So took them out right there.
Nothing the day before.
Nothing the day before. Demembraned them, trimmed them up, kind of so that you square them out, and then rubbed them. Threw them on the smoker by 9:30.
6.5 hours, a little babysitting time in between there that we had to compensate for.
Yeah, we took them off around 1 o'clock and kind of just let them cool down a little bit, and then we put them back on, with a little glaze for
That's
the
what
last.
I've always heard. The meats want to be done when they're done, but you need to time it to a specific time for the competition, I assume.
Correct. And especially when we thought it was at 3 and it ended up being at 4.
Oh, boy.
So, I think
We made it work somehow, some way.
holding them in the Cambro, I think, actually helps because it moistens them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were wrapped in there the whole time.
They were wrapped in there the whole time.
Yeah,
We cut right before, and then I cut Johnnie, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw something different that we did that other people didn't do was I saw them bringing their ribs from their restaurant or whatever it was. I don't know. I feel like competition, you tell me if I'm wrong, but like cooking on site, I think is key.
Yeah, and if you're doing a competition, I mean, there's, that's the camaraderie, that's the, the actual competition factor is cooking on your pits outside. Whether you have a, propane assisted pit, whether you have a charcoal grill, whether you have, an offset, that's what makes a barbecue competition a competition. You're all outside, you're all in the even playing field, and you're doing what you're doing outside right there and then.
Right.
But some competitions are different, but I mean, if you can do it, by all means,
do it.
Do it.
So, Mike, does this give you some kind of bragging rights?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Win a few more?
He's about 5 pounds heavier with this little plaque he's got.
It's a little belt loop now.
You
belt
could
buckle.
make a nice belt buckle.
I learned something, and it's to hear your name called, it does give you goosebumps in that feeling.
Yep.
But, we're actually discussing about entering the actual competition world, starting out very low, the tailgater competitions and, see how we do. And then once you start getting your name called a couple times in that playing field, now you have, some
makes sense.
bragging rights.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you had actually a video going live perfect.
Oh, when they called it out.
Called,
yeah.
and I'm pretty sure there was a voice in the background with a few profane words going, "You gotta be kidding me."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm still trying to figure out, Daddy, we did it. I'm trying to figure out who's
That's her,
that.
right there.
Okay.
The little girl.
All right. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I think everyone was pretty pumped up when that happened. I know I was. So.
And I mean, with competitions, no matter what competition you're doing, you're most likely not going to use what you're using in a judging competition, on like People's Choice or for the general public, because you're dolling those up to one bite and one bite only. So we sauced it. We put them back on. It caramelized a little bit. We took them out. We dusted some more right rub onto it. So right when the judges bit into it, that's what they basically tasted, was a combination of that with the barbecue sauce. And for People's Choice, we used, rub, same cooking factors and everything, but we didn't rub after the fact. We just pre-rubbed and then sauced with, the barbecue sauces. So
there's a difference between whipping out 2 racks of ribs for a judge and 20 more for,
correct.
And hopefully more next year, right?
Yes, definitely more next year.
And they went like fire because we sold out probably within an hour.
And we weren't even planning on doing that.
No. And we did PB&J wings, which
Peanut
you've
butter
never had.
Those were amazing.
Those were outstanding.
And there was I didn't find any, I tasted a little bit of peanut butter.
There was no peanut butter in the actual recipe, but they're
I didn't get the peanut butter flavor.
My PB&J wings, and, it's 2 ingredients, but are they good?
They're
Bomb.
very good.
Excellent.
Yeah,
apparently everyone else did too, because they went quick.
Oh, they went quick, and they were coming back looking for more. So we had, what was it, half a case? So about 20 pounds?
20 pounds of wings, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Doing 3 for $6.
So maybe if you email us, maybe we'll give you the recipe. We'll see. We'll see. But we also got a question online on Facebook.
We did.
What's the
we have
question?
our first question.
Let's hear it.
And
Mike, go ahead.
Well, he's he loved the 2 shows. He's been watching. He's watching this show actually right now. And he was asking us about barbecue sauces and if we could kind of, get into some different types of barbecue sauces. But I don't know what your go-to sauces are. I know what my go-to sauce is, but, do you guys have like a go-to barbecue sauce? Sweet Baby Ray's, Stubbs.
What I've always loved for years was bone-sucking sauce. They got a little bit of a variety, different flavors now. They just used to just have the original and a spicy. Then they came out with a thicker, and then added to their portfolio. They also have a mustard that's out of this world. So that was my go-to for years, until I crossed paths with you. And now I got these 2 right here. Preferably the spice. That's the original.
That's
the spicy, out of this world. Not tooting your horn for you, but
No, I
it's
appreciate
a
it.
quality product.
Thank you. Thank you.
How about you?
I mean, when I do barbecue sauce, obviously the newest one and we used it this past weekend, is the right rub peach chipotle barbecue sauce, which is amazing. It's out of this world. My kids love it. My wife loves it. Everyone loves it. But when I'm doing my regular cooks on the weekend and I'm using a barbecue sauce, I tend to take, I love yours, but I tend to take like just pretty much any one. I'll use like Sweet Baby Ray's a lot, but
100%.
But I'll make my own with it. I'll like put it in like a little saucepan. I'll add beer to it, add butter to it, whatever. Add some spice to it. All right, so doctor it up.
All right, so basically, whatever barbecue sauce you're using, store-bought, so you don't have to go through making your own, which, that consists of basically, ketchup, brown sugar, onions, apple cider vinegar, Worcestershire,
Yeah.
So these, for a backyard guy or someone just, wanting a good, delicious recipe, go buy your own, whatever flavor you want, whatever brand you're looking for, and, what are some of the things you'd put in it? I mean, obviously, I would do brown sugar, What are some of the things that you guys have done to doll it up? I mean, you said beer,
hot sauce.
Hot sauce.
If it's not a hot sauce to begin with, just add a little bit of hot sauce. Your favorite kind of hot sauce. Butter.
Jesus.
Butter's not bad. Brown sugar.
That's what we did the ribs with this weekend, and I've never done butter, and
yes,
I am going to be doing butter from now on. And so I learned something this weekend as well.
Another one, if you want to do something totally different, and I think we hit on this last week or the week before, but like if you want to do it goes best with pulled pork, but if you want to do like a Carolina pulled pork, get some mustard in there, get some apple cider vinegar in there with the barbecue sauce, and make your own. You can make your own with it.
And for me, I like to add some cayenne because I like spice.
You like to eat?
Yeah, not enough to overpower the sauce itself, but I like a little burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna.
I don't. What I taste? Oh, I took a jalapeno this weekend.
Yeah, you didn't go well with the jalapeno. You definitely don't like spicy.
Attack.
Well, jalapenos seem very variable. Sometimes
this guy was hot.
It was a hot one.
Yep. Yeah, I will vouch for that. I did have a nice burn going on, but I enjoyed it. I love spicy. That's my
I think I brought about 20 jalapenos, just fresh sliced. There's no pickled jalapenos, nothing like that.
But you could put jalapenos in a barbecue sauce.
There you go. I'd do it.
And I'm probably going to butcher this name, but forgive me now, Jeremy. Jeremy Lozino. Thank you for your question. Thank you for your comments, insights. We are thrilled you stumbled upon the show, and we're glad you love it.
Glad you got us talking.
You should have had an Italian read an Italian last name instead of an Irish.
I asked you. You kept going him, he.
Thank you very much for your support.
Thanks, buddy.
So what else we got going on?
Well, if you're looking for a mustard sauce.
Yes, let's get into it.
A basic mustard sauce. I'm not going to give any measurements. You can kind of, play with it and get your own feel depending on, if you like more mustard or, more vinegary. But it's very easy. It's apple cider vinegar, brown sugar, Louisiana hot sauce, yellow mustard, and honey. That's it. That's it.
And that's, once again, that's great on pulled pork.
I think fantastic.
I think it's the best on that.
It seeps down into everything, and it pairs well with coleslaw as well. So, it's just an all delicious, all around, Carolina mustard. You can add again, more Louisiana hot sauce, or other stuff to it. Worcestershire, some people add. So, do what you want with it. It's barbecue. Make it your own.
Honey's great for the sweet element.
Yes.
Was it you, Johnny, that mentioned pineapple?
It was Chris last week.
Oh, yeah.
The pineapple.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah. I love pineapple and barbecue sauce.
Pineapple and pork go great. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then, so next week we'll probably, get into
football. Next week we got opening day of football.
Yes.
We'll
talk about chicken wings. We'll talk about appetizers. What appetizers we've done, what appetizers are out there. If you guys want to send some stuff, we can talk about them on the show next week. Send us some stuff.
Enjoy Labor Day weekend and enjoy the start to kick off the college football.
Yeah. So that's all for this week. We'd like to thank you all for joining us. We'd love to hear from you. So send your questions or comments to pitlifebbqpodcast@gmail.com. On social media, you can find us on YouTube, Facebook at Pit Life BBQ Podcast. If you can't catch us live, you can find us on iTunes and other podcast carriers. If you're enjoying the show, please like, subscribe, rate, review, tell your friends.
Share it.
Or just
Share it
call
out.
Johnny.
Or just call me. I'll answer. And for a small fee, I'll find out the measurements for you of the mustard sauce. Until next week, keep the smoke rolling.
Congratulations.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.